Welcome back to an all-new episode of Go-Go Juice. My name is Joe. This is Andrew. Today we're going to be talking about going, but maybe a little less go-go juice and a little bit juice. That's right. We're talking decaf today. Very fascinating process. There's different methods to actually go about getting a decaf coffee. Unfortunately, coffee does not grow decaffeinated from the farm at origin. Some people don't know that. And I do know of a Costa Rican farmer who has some scientists on his team, and they're trying to genetically mutate the DNA strands of the coffee cherry to then maybe grow out of the ground decaffeinated one day. I think it'd be pretty cool in this lifetime to see that. But until then, we have different processing methods. There's Swiss water, sugar cane, and then some other chemical processes that we normally don't gravitate towards. We just don't think they taste nearly as good, and we try to stick more to a natural processing method for you and for us at that point. We think it tastes way better, and it's going to be better on your gut. So, Andrew, maybe tell us a little bit about Swiss water and just, why we have it, how it goes.
Yeah, the Swiss water is what we're currently sourcing. Our importer, that like Joe just mentioned, our importers really only source coffee, decaf, that's Swiss water processed, or sugarcane EA, and they're just natural. It's all, they use either water or they're using a natural acetate to create that, like to extract the caffeine out. Yeah. So just like Joe was talking about, the caffeine is all done, the caffeine extraction is all done at the processing site. So there's one really main processing site that does Swiss water, and it's in Canada. And you're like, why is it called Swiss water if it's in Canada? Right. Well, it was invented in Switzerland in the 1930s or so, and then it was bought out in the 80s by a Canadian company, and they ended up moving that company, I think, in the 2020 or something, or they just moved into a bigger space in 2020 in Canada. And so now basically if you see Swiss water on a label, it basically is processed in Canada. They process a ton of coffee there, a ton of decaf coffee. They just use water. It's a crazy process where they just, if you soak even like green coffee, so unroasted coffee, in water, it will pull everything out. Like it pulls like coffee flavor, it pulls the caffeine. It's like a blank slate. So they sit there, they just let that stuff soak in this water, pulls everything out of the coffee. And then basically what they do is they take, through some sort of magic, I'm not 100% sure, but they create an extract out of that like coffee flavor that they've taken out of the coffee. And then they actually infuse that back in. So they're infusing the coffee flavor back into the coffee bean, but they're leaving the caffeine out of it. And so that is essentially the process of Swiss water. That's really like a bare bones process, overview of that process, essentially. But it's super interesting. But like I said, it's just using water to do all that stuff, and it's pretty cool because, like Joe was saying, there's a lot of chemicals. Like when we talk about processing, most of the time for normal caffeinated coffee, the processing methods are all pretty done, like they're done organically, they're not using chemicals or anything like that. But when it comes to decaf, that's where things get a little hairy, where we talk about like they're pumping chemicals into your coffee and things like that. And so this one is purely just done with water, and it's amazing, and that's why we really love it. So, but there's other reasons we love it too, and you mentioned that earlier about like the taste, and it roasts really nice. So would you want to talk a little bit about that, and why this is in our benchmark series?
So we've noticed with this Swiss water coffee is just, I feel like a lot of people when they go to decaf and grab it, they're thinking of like what they grabbed maybe off the shelf at a store, and it tasted really funky, and it wasn't probably roasted all that great either, unfortunately. But what we found is like a very nice like sweet roasting spot for it, roasting it almost to like a medium level roast for what it is, because it roasts way different than normal coffee. However, this coffee that we're getting in, we've noticed that it has like this really nice bright citrus tone right at the beginning, and as it's cooling off, very chocolatey, kind of Grammy as well. It has a really nice body to it. And I think a lot of people have been very surprised by that when they do try it, just how chocolatey and smooth it is compared to like maybe what they were expecting. But that's something that we've really loved with it, and why we have it in our benchmark series. Just that way everyone can grab it. You can use it at home. Maybe you're a benchmark drinker. This honestly tastes pretty similar to the benchmark, just not going to have the caffeine. It's not going to keep you up. You can drink this all day long, right?
Yeah, let's go.
So there's a lot of benefits to that at that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to taste great with cream or milk. And yeah, you can make this with lattes or just drink it black. Like, it's going to go great however. But that is actually, unfortunately, all the time we have today to talk about go-go juice. But I really hoped that this gave you some go-go good news with a little bit of juice.
Wow.
See ya.